This is the ADU 136. It's an ultraviolet disinfection lamp using the C like Charlie wavelength of the sun that strictly has germicidal properties. And this wavelength of light can kill any bacteria, virus, mold, yeast, or protozoa very efficiently, and has no dissipation time. The reason it should be on these trucks is because UVC is a natural disinfection, and the pathogens can linger for weeks to months on end, both airborne and things like C. diff and MRSA that can cling for all the nooks and crannies. You have so many hard to reach and uneven surfaces in the back of an ambulance. The science has been proven for over 100 years, the medical efficacy, and UVC in complement to your current topical cleaning is proven in studies to kill C. diff, MRSA, Acinetobacter, those kind of pathogens. We can reduce the healthcare acquired infection spreading from 32 to 37% when it complements the current cleaning regimen that they do. It can be used anywhere, anytime in the back of the truck when it's parked. Doors are closed, they just press the switch. It can kill in any reach, the light can bounce around. As William was saying earlier, in just 15 to 20 minutes is what we recommend in the back of a typical box ambulance. You can open up your fixtures to the front of the cabinets, your bench seats, anywhere the light can scatter and bounce, it will disinfect.
So you kind of hit on it. One of the questions I get asked a lot on being part of the sales team is, the difference between a light type system and like a fog or a mist type system. And it's maybe a misconception, you can talk to it, but one of the questions I get asked is if the light doesn't hit it, like the bottom of a shelf, for example, and there's some sort of pathogen on there, is your system gonna disinfect or decontaminate that surface as well?
Anywhere ambient light, such as an overhead light in your room, can reach, yes, we can disinfect. Shadowed areas and recessed areas take slightly longer, but UVC definitely works in both direct line of sight and indirect shadowed and recessed areas.
Very cool. Another question I get is, do I have to take all of my equipment, all of my supplies, my computers, my defibs, stuff like that out of the vehicle before this system can be used?
No. The joy of UVC is unlike the A and B wavelengths that can go through a solid surface such as glass, or more important in EMS world, their packaged supplies, their drugs. The C wavelength cannot go through those solid surfaces, so they cannot degrade any of those valuable items that they use to save patients' lives. It can't hurt their equipment. It can't hurt anything because it can't go through those solid surfaces like the A and B wavelengths that can degrade and crack the front of the truck and degrade your furniture, and your drapes get yellow on your house from sunlight. UVC doesn't do that. It's a shorter wavelength of light that strictly has germicidal properties.
Wow, that's really cool. So one last question, and this may change from department to department or even vehicle to vehicle, but do you guys recommend a duration, or this should be done daily, weekly, monthly? And one more step, when it is done, how long should it be done for?
So to answer the protocol, that really depends on how often they're already cleaning, but the reality is once you've made the investment, it's virtually free to run because it's not running on ground electricity through an outlet. It's in the truck itself, and the bulbs will work for 9,000 hours germicidally. So it can, in theory, be used with protocols and approval in place after each patient call. If all you have is 5 or 10 minutes, you've done a great service for your community by disinfecting the space in the ambulance.
Well, I don't have any more questions. If there's any last minute thing that you want to get out there to the audience, just a real quick summary of why they should pick your product and why ultraviolet decontamination is a thing that we need to do more of in this industry, here's your chance.
Well, most major hospitals since the outbreak of Ebola in West Africa in 2014 have adopted UVC machines in their ORs, sometimes working their way into more critical areas of the hospital. And when you look at the options out there, no pathogen can resist a lethal dose of UVC. Unlike any other method, whether it's vaping, gassing, misting, fogging, those pathogens, if they're not given a lethal dose, can morph or envelope into an altered form of themselves and resist that disinfection, similar to how they become antibiotic resistant.
Right.
We are EPA approved and we're made in the USA. Very legitimate product and very high quality, hand built at a very affordable price.